And welcome to Called Bank Sports. My name is Nathan Mortensen, here to give you some post-game analysis on the Utah Jazz versus the New Orleans Pelicans. I was unable to cover the game Monday against the Grizzlies due to some technical difficulties on my end. But, this game was pretty much the exact same. The Jazz were the better team through most of the game. They were able to get some good leads. I believe they led by as much as 11 at one point in the first half. But they just consistently allowed the Pelicans to get back into the game through lots of turnovers and just overall a really bad game. And there were some positives, but the Jazz should beat the Pelicans. They're not a good team right now. They don't have Zion Williamson, who was just cleared for to return to contact today. But again, he wasn't on the court, so it's a shorthanded Pelicans team that the Jazz should have been able to do a lot better against. The two stats that definitely are always concerning are going to be the turnovers, which the Jazz had 18 of. Now, they did only allow 13 points off of those 18 turnovers, but 18 turnovers is just still too much, no matter how good your defense plays on the other end. That was, they were able to get 14 turnovers from the Pelicans, and they got 18 points off of those. So they did win the turnover battle as a whole. But again, if you want to be a championship contender, I just can't see a world in which the Jazz are averaging 15 plus turnovers like I believe they are right now. And they're able to consistently perform and have good games to the point where they can make it to the finals. The other stat that we consistently look at is going to be offensive boards. And the Jazz did win the offensive rebounding battle tonight with 9 compared to 6 for the 6 for the Pelicans. So overall, the Jazz did okay in those two categories, but it was just a consistent inability to score points tonight, as they had an overall terrible game from the field, shooting 36 of 80 shots. And where the turnovers really come into play is the Jazz only had 80 shot attempts compared to the Pelicans' 89. So the Pelicans got off 9 more shots and made 2 more shots. So when you're looking at the stats overall, they had a significantly worse field goal percentage and a slightly better 3-point percentage, shooting 11 of 27 for 40.7% from behind the arc, compared to 13 of 33 for the Jazz. But overall, it comes down to the fact that the Jazz shot 9 less shots. And if the Jazz were able to get off more shots, they would have probably won, since they obviously only needed 1 more attempt as they lost by 1 point. And so while there's definitely a lot of things to be frustrated about, and there are some positives, I do want to get to that. Bogey had a really good game tonight. Believe he put up 13 points in the first quarter, and on the game as a whole, sorry, I have the Pelican stats pulled up. He had 23 points, for 5 of 8 from 3 and 9 of 14 from the field. So phenomenal game from him. O'Neal had a pretty good game, shooting 2 of 4 from 3 for 6 points. Gobert had a mediocre game. He was 2 of 3 from the field, but he went to the line 5 times, and he missed half of the shots he took there. So he was 5 of 10. And obviously, I don't think a lot of us are expecting anything more from Gobert than maybe, at his career best being 70% from the line. But when you lose by 1 game, missing those free throws really hurts. And Mike Conley had a pretty good game. He was I said that wrong. I thought I read his 3-point line. I thought he was 4 for 10 from 3, which would have been great, but he was 4 for 10 from the field and 0 of 4 from 3. Only had 12 points. So that's, again, just a spot where the Jazz hurt in a game like this against the Pelicans, when most players are having slightly under or significantly below average nights. The Jazz are going to need someone to step up, and Bojan stepped up, but Conley wasn't able to step up, and neither was Donovan, who frankly had an atrocious game. He was 6 of 21 from the field, so less than 33%. 2 of 7 from 3. So a bad night there, not as bad as his overall field goal shooting was. And he only got to the line twice. So once you get into just looking at those players, and when you have Gobert at -6 and Conley at -11, you're going to need some other players stepping up big time. And the Jazz just didn't have that tonight. Now, there's definitely some stuff that just was unlucky. I mean, this is the first time the Pelicans have made a clutch 3-point shot all season, but you've got to play defense so that that doesn't happen. And Mike Conley played good defense on the shot, and it just wasn't enough for Utah. This is the Pelicans' first road win in a long time, and that had to happen eventually. But I'm not the only one who's saying that. Sorry, excuse me. I just have a cat or something stuck in my throat today. So that the Jazz, as a team with championship aspirations, shouldn't be the one that the Pelicans are finally able to pick up a win against, especially without Zion. And then the Pelicans did get lucky at the end of the half. They put up a 3-point shot to beat the buzzer, and just like Giddey was able to get lucky on Wednesday in the OKC game, the Jazz got unlucky with some shots where they played good defense at the end of the half, but the other team was able to get 3 points. So frankly, the Jazz just need to be more consistent on offense. And they are one of the best offensive teams in the league. But I feel like a lot of that is looking at multiple games where their first game against Oklahoma City, they absolutely destroyed. It was incredible. They dominated. I think they won by around 30 points. And then they have multiple nights like tonight where they fail to get to 100. So I am very intrigued to see where you draw that line. If you compare the Jazz's offense in their losses to the Jazz's offense in their wins, and how significantly their points per possession varies and their offensive rating varies. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really hope all of you had a great Thanksgiving. Please like, comment, and follow wherever you're at. Dale and I will not be putting out a weekly episode tomorrow due to the holiday, but we will be continuing to do our post games. So please just continue to support us, and we really appreciate all the help. So thanks again. Hope you have a great weekend, and go Jazz.